Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hey. Hi. Welcome, Retrogame Roadshow, Portland Retro Gaming Expo 2018.
Come on.
Yeah, all right. I think a lot of you people probably already kind of know the score about what goes down here at the Retrogame Roadshow, but just in case you don't, hi, my name is Chris Kohler. I'm features editor at Kotaku. I'm also a video game collector, and I kind of had this idea to start doing this about 8 years ago now, if you guys can believe that, that we would basically do Antiques Roadshow for video games. So you bring up your video game collectible, put it in front of a panel of experts, and we would discuss it, and you know, why is this valuable? Why is this not valuable? Why is this real? Is this fake? And also the idea is and try to tell you how much it's worth. Try to you know, impromptu put a price on it. In later years, the pricing of the thing has become a little bit less interesting to people than I think the stories around it, or the way that these items kind of let us go off into a little bit of a talk about various collecting topics and what's happening right now in collecting. And so that's kind of what you're in store for. I want to introduce the OG crew of Retrogame Roadshow, I think, panel of experts for the last 8 years, my good friends who always join me here on these shows. We have Steve Lynn. Hi, Steve.
Hi. We've been doing this 8 years. Wow. I'm Steve Lynn. I'm VP of Operations at Discord. Yay, Discord. And also part of the Video Game History Foundation.
Yeah, that deserves the applause. Hi, I'm Cifaldi. I'm the founder of the Video Game History Foundation, which Steve is a board member. Also make some games sometimes for a company called Digital Eclipse. Mostly like anniversary collection things like Street Fighter 30th. SNK 40th is coming out next month. Please buy it. Oh my God.
And you guys should let's plug the museum now.
Oh yes.
Let's get it out of the way.
How could you forget? It took us 2 days to put together.
Okay. Video Game History Foundation, which Frank runs, Steve, you're on the board of. They have, for the last 2 years, put together the museum exhibit here at Portland Retro Gaming Expo. And this year's, folks, this year's is the best floating museum, you know, type exhibit I have ever seen, participated in, experienced at any video game expo. It is incredible. I haven't even seen it finished yet. I only saw it half finished. I've been so busy. But even half finished, it was amazing. There's a history of the Nintendo Entertainment System. The exhibit is called Staying with Power. It is all about how the Nintendo Entertainment System, you know, from its origins in the 1980s, and also pre-history of Nintendo stuff. I've got my Nintendo Hanafuda cards in there, if you want to go see the old Nintendo playing cards. But then it takes you all through the life cycle of the NES and beyond, and shows how the NES endured throughout the ages. And Frank has worked incredibly hard to put this all together. Did you sleep last night?
No, I did. Okay. But
not much. I'm guessing not much.
Yeah, I mean, regular sleep schedule, but then like nothing but working on the museum other than sleep. So.
And it is the stuff that's in there, and I think the educational journey that you will go on is mind-blowing. So please be sure to check it out. It only exists here at Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
And I genuinely think that this stuff will never be in the same room again. I actually think that.
Yeah.
Like, this is a really special thing. It's at the end of Holly. Please go look at it.
Yeah, in fact, I kind of guarantee that, because anything of mine that's in there will be donated to a museum over the course of the next year. So, yeah.
Frank and Steve are both recovering collectors.
I stopped in like 2000.
You did. Yeah. Well, you're always in recovery, Frank. You just got the 10-year shit. You know, that's all really means. The way that it works is we've asked you guys to bring in some retro gaming items. Show of hands, who has something that they might like to bring up on stage and have evaluated by us? 1, 2, couple few people. Yeah. Okay. Great. Okay. So it's a little bit less this time around, but that's fine. We'll just talk for longer.
We can do that.
Then I don't know what to tell you about your items. It's all right. Don't worry about it. It'll be okay. No, I sometimes get photographs. Here's the first collecting topic. I sometimes get photographs from people, like on the phone. They're like, "Is this real?" And I'm like, you cannot authenticate something based on a photograph. It's like I can give you some ideas here or there, but it's like you've got to have the real thing in your hands before I can tell you 100%. Yes, this is real. Yes, it's not. So so yeah, that's why you can't like sort of describe something to somebody and say, well, what do you think? It's like I gotta see it. I gotta feel it. I gotta hold it.
Well, I'm gonna counter that.
Please.
I get that sometimes for prototype cartridges.
Okay,
right?
sure.
So like NES prototype cartridges, and you can authenticate that with a photo as good as you can authenticate it in person. Because usually it's like, okay,
well,
what
yeah.
I can tell you is that that board is authentically a prototype board.
Right.
What I can guarantee to you, and which nobody can ever possibly guarantee to you, is that these EEPROMs were actually burned back then.
Right.
So.
Right. So yeah, a person in the Luigi costume, you should probably come up because I know that you have something. Yeah. So basically the procedure is, so you're the guinea pig, you'll come up on the stage on the stairs right there. You'll sit right there.
You have to sit next to me, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello there.
You're gonna hand your item directly to Frank Sweaty Hands Cifaldi.
What's your name?
My name's Fiona, and I brought a Game & Watch
You did.
with fire, and there's batteries if you need to see it works.
Okay. It's fake. Cool. This is fire. I mean, you are a Game & Watch expert for sure.
We are both.
Yeah.
Chris, do you want to talk about Game & Watch?
No,
No, me.
You're a real Game & Watch guy.
So, does everyone here know what Game & Watch is? Yeah, okay.
A lot of nods.
Yeah, a lot of nods. Okay, so Nintendo Game & Watch, obviously, was designed when we saw someone playing with a calculator on the subway. It's like, oh, there's probably something here. I think we can use this technology to make a game. Fire is one of the early Game & Watch games. I think Ball being the first, and then followed by Fire.
Although that is the widescreen version, I think.
Yes, in fact, actually, you had been taking
the later version. Yeah.
Yeah, the later version of Fire. So these are much more simple than we're used to here. LCD technology. There's only 2 buttons on this, just like Ball, where it's you're just juggling back and forth. They are really sought after from a collecting standpoint. Now, well, they have been for a while, actually. And I think the big things that you're looking at for Game & Watch is the rarity, the condition of the unit itself, but something that really skyrockets the value of Game & Watch is the box manual. So,
because who would keep those?
Right.
Yeah,
it's a portable system, right? There's not, and the kind of flimsy boxes, styrofoam inserts. You mentioned you have batteries. There's some people that insist that you have the original batteries inside, which are happen to be through the styrofoam.
Wait, do they want them leaked? Like they prefer?
They prefer. Well, no, I would say.
Well, no, I'm not asking would they prefer leaked to non-leaked.
Right.
I'm asking would they prefer leaked to new batteries.
Oh, new batteries. Well, usually if the original batteries aren't in there, you just don't put batteries in.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And in fact, you want to store them. Yeah, I think you.
So much like the Nintendo Switch, these have kickstands.
Yeah. Yes, they do.
Because the idea was to be like, you could, because these have alarm functionality. And it's like,
the alarm clock.
You could program, you put in the time, you put in an alarm, and then you can use this as your alarm clock and sit it on your nightstand, basically, which I don't think anybody ever did.
Yeah.
So Game & Watch collecting is almost like Game & Watch collecting is to video game collecting what Neo Geo collecting is to video game collecting. Even video game collectors don't do it because it can be so hard to get in good condition. The price can and the people who do it are so hardcore about it. They pay nutty money for things that are in the best condition. So this is loose. It doesn't have the box. It doesn't have anything.
It does have the battery cover.
It does have the battery cover, and that's very important. These things get lost, and then people 3D print new ones, but like it's just impossible to replace the battery cover. You're probably gonna have to like buy a broken one that has a battery cover and take the battery cover off of it. This is in pretty good shape.
Where did you
it's
get
got
it,
a date.
Oh yeah, Fiona.
Fiona.
I believe I got it in a kind of a play and trade kind of place in, I don't think that's what it's called, but in, I want to say like 2006.
Do you remember what you paid for it?
I think I paid 30 at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like Chris mentioned, there's not a lot of scratches on the screen and on the metal itself. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're looking for the condition. There is a big ding kind of on the front of it, although it's not, and you know, of course you want to work. You know, you want to make sure that the LCD, that literally the liquid inside the screen is not leaking, that sort of thing.
There's 2 points of leakage.
Oh yeah?
The battery, no, I'm saying.
I see.
I didn't watch collecting. There's 2 points of leakage to look for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing to note is, you know, we're talking about all these like things that are we can spot on there. To Chris's point, to the people who like really hardcore game and watch, those matter a lot. Like it'll be whether or not it won't be I will offer you less. It's I will not buy it at all because it has these issues. At least the people that I've met and actually myself.
Yeah, so if you do come across, I mean, even if it's something you don't collect, if you come across like Game and Watches and they're in the box, and the boxes are beautiful mint condition, you know, and you're thinking, should I buy this? Should I buy this to, you know, to sell it? Is this a really good price? Like whatever, like look into it. Do a little bit of digging as far as like, you know, what the price of that thing might be, because the value of a Game & Watch can really increase exponentially based on the condition and the completeness.
Yeah, this is also where eBay like completed item searches really aren't super helpful because they can vary wildly, and it's because people are looking at condition. I think if you go to Japan, and especially where the box ones are graded, you know, box condition is going to have a huge impact on it. Obviously, the condition of the item itself, and so it's just you'll see hundreds, if not like maybe even $1,000 swing in something just because of its condition.
Yeah. So getting back to this particular Fire Game & Watch, I would, if I had to take a stab at it right now, it's probably worth about $100 in the condition that it's in. It's not a super rare one. There are some that are very rare. That one is a little bit more common. I think it's actually worth maybe even a little bit more than the smaller screen Fire one, because it is in nice shape. It does work. So yeah, probably say about 100. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, you'll see most sort of standard Game & Watches floating in that range. You know, Donkey Kongs and everything, Zeldas, even though they're not like that rare, will command higher prices because like, hey, I want a portable Zelda that's not the Switch.
I want a portable Zelda that's not Zelda.
Yes,
says Zelda.
That just says Zelda on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for bringing that.
Yeah, thank you very
Fiona.
much. It's really cool. Who else? Who else has something? Raise your hand. I know there's some of you out there who brought stuff.
I saw hands earlier.
There were multiple hands earlier. I'm going to send you all home if nobody's raising their hands. I know that you're out there because you came up to me and asked me if you wanted to. Is there no one else?
Wow, that's awkward.
With an item? That's super awkward.
All right, we gotta fill air here.
We gotta fill a lot of time. Jason!
Wait, here we go.
Jason's gonna say this.
Oh, here we go. What'd you bring?
This is what you were telling me about. Why are you sitting there like you didn't have anything? You're waiting for us to sweat it out. We're not gonna have anything. We're gonna really have to extend this. Okay.
Hi.
Hello.
What's your name?
My name's Jason.
Hi, Jason. What'd you bring us?
Well, I brought some cool Sega stuff.
Wow.
Do
you want to hold that up?
Yeah, tell the story of how you got it, because that often has a lot to do with, you know, the desirability or the value.
Yeah.
You want to talk into the mic?
Talk into the mic.
Okay, sorry. So, let's get you.
Ooh, fancy. All right, so like Chris, I live in the Bay Area of California, and I was just on OfferUp one day, and I saw an ad for a Sega jacket that had a horrible picture, and I'm like, it's 9 months old, but I'm gonna message the person anyway. The person was really responsive and said, hey, I was actually about to take this ad down because no one's been responding to me. So I'm like, cool, well, I can meet you anytime, and we met up, and it wasn't this particular jacket that I got, but another one that's actually at my friend's booth right now. And I said, hey, you know, do you guys have any more of these? And he said, well, my wife actually worked for Sega of America back in the 90s and still currently does on some part-time basis. And I'm like, all right, well, let's meet up and see what else we have. And after a couple weeks, they finally agreed to let me come to their house, and it was just a treasure trove. Aside from this jacket, I probably got another 10 more of these that are variants of this. I got a bunch of Sega hats, enamel pins, lanyards, just a bunch of really cool stuff. Some stuff I think Sega did a tennis tournament back in the day. And so I got a bunch of the tennis tournament pins that the employees and the staff wore at that. Gosh, Nicole Miller, I think is, I don't follow fashion, but I think she's a pretty famous fashion designer. She had made a bunch of stuff for Sega back in the 90s, and one of them was like a tie that had like Sonic and Tails on it, as well as like a scarf and some nighttime pajamas for women. And so she had all those, the couple had all those brand new in the packaging. And
wow.
It was an amazing.
So how did you make the initial contact with this couple? How did you find them in the first place?
It was
Offer Up.
Yeah.
Offer Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The listing was 9 months old, and it just, I got lucky, you know. Here I am.
Well, you got lucky, but also it's like you were actively kind of like going out looking for this kind of stuff, and also I think importantly, once you realized that there was a potential lead, you were kind of tenacious about like really following up on that lead and like getting them to talk to you and getting in there. Which I think is a really good tip. I mean, it's, it doesn't often happen that you sort of run into an ex-Sega America employee, but people are out there. I mean, whether they were ex-employees or not, with stashes of stuff. And so,
even on eBay, like if I'm like searching for stuff and something comes up that's like not a thing you could have bought in stores, like I go look at their other auctions, I message them, if it's the kind of thing that we're looking for from the foundation, and like more often than not. They're at least responsive and like, yeah, I work there, but this is really all I have. This is worst case usually, but best case is like, oh yeah, I've got like 30 more of these. Do you want them? Yeah. And also, do you want to hear my stories and have a nice time?
Well, there's also the traumatic, like, oh, this is the only thing I kept and I threw it all out like last year or something, or last month. And it's like, ah!
So when I was talking to her, she actually told me a bunch of stories. She got to meet a ton of people when she worked at Sega. She unfortunately asked me not to get too many details out, and I want to kind of respect her wishes on that, just because.
Was she there the day they wheeled Michael Jackson around?
So actually she was.
I've heard stories about this.
One of the items that I got from her was a signed Michael Jackson Moonwalker game.
Nice.
Signed by Michael Jackson.
Wow. Why didn't you bring that?
So it's funny. I bought my plane ticket like Thursday night at midnight. I didn't think I was coming to this, and my buddy Jared, who there he is. He's the one who actually kind of convinced me to come. I'm in the process of opening a store, and it's just been like insane the past few months, and I wasn't going to come until he kind of talked me into it.
All right. So we've got the actual item, a ladies Sega denim jacket.
This one's a men's, actually.
Oh, this is a men's?
Yeah, this one's a men's.
Wait, how did she get the men's?
Well, so I think what her role was, she had multiple roles at the company, but her main role was to actually design all of the apparel that would come out and be sold. And so she just had a bunch of stuff.
Oh, does she have the Sonic and Knuckles sneakers that's in the game catalog?
She does not. She did have a Sonic and Tails wristwatch that I bought that was only handed out to the executives at Sega, and she sold me one of those as well. Wow. And so that's a really cool watch. Wow.
All right, so let's see, apparel values, or like discussing value of apparel.
Well,
in my head.
Yeah, it's like, again, now we're just like, we're moving into the realm of, not one-of-a-kind items, but like, not sold to the public sort of stuff. I mean, what do you get?
And it's new.
It's
like,
new.
Just keep that in mind, right?
That's really important. That's really important.
I actually have another one back at the booth that still has the tag on it.
Oh my goodness. So these were sold?
No, that was the tag that was bought from the company that she bought the jackets from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So these ones in particular were only handed out to Sega employees.
Right. So, I mean, first let's evaluate it from a fashion standpoint. Everybody knows that denim jackets are incredibly fashionable even today.
I mean, I was good in it.
So you can. I'm gonna really hold this up again so you guys can see the embossed Sonic the Hedgehog and Samus. I mean, so okay, there's so many factors here. I mean, first of all, it's Sonic the freaking Hedgehog. This is not a Bugsy the Bobcat jacket. You know what I mean?
It's like throw the Sega Sports hat on the floor.
Right. You know, I mean, and also, Jason, are you wearing something that you got from this find also?
This was the Sega Sports one that she had. I have a couple more of these as well.
Cool. That's not new.
Yeah, this one's not new. I wear this one all the time because I'm really good at it. So very importantly here, yeah, the fact that it is still an extremely popular character and a popular logo and brand that like somebody would wear that 100% today. Really definitely will affect the value of that, because you're going to have multiple people. If you were to say like drop that on eBay, you have multiple people competing for it, because you'd have just like straight up Sega memorabilia collectors. You'd also have people who maybe don't own a video game but think that is so damn cool that they would want to buy it and wear it. And then I think you could even make buyers out of people who just collect games and don't collect much memorabilia, but that's so cool that they just got to have it, you know? So I think there'd be a lot of different groups of people sort of fighting over that, were that to kind of go on the market.
Yeah, I think one other thing is it's a men's large, so it is something that's quote unquote wearable, right? You'll see things go up for auction that's like, an extra small or something. It's like, oh, no one's gonna wear that, or like put it on their dog or something. So what you can do is like, yeah, this is something, if someone did want to wear it, they could, right?
Yeah. And it's just beautiful. What are you guys talking about?
Oh, I'm looking at pictures.
Oh, sorry.
Of other stuff? Yeah.
I'm ignoring you and looking at pictures.
I actually forgot another thing that I got from them was a framed Mario Lemieux puck and game cover from him, from her.
Indeed, the most famous Mario in all of gaming.
Yeah. Without a doubt. The interesting thing about this is there are supposed to be 50 of these pucks given away within the game cartridge or the shell, but no one has actually ever claimed one. So currently, I think I'm the only person who is known to have one of the Mario ones that was signed originally back in the 90s, which is I think is pretty cool. So.
Keep touching your phone. Oh, look at that watch. Christy, you're the watch.
Sorry, you can't see this.
Yeah, it's like, hey, look at all this cool stuff that you can't see. Interesting.
Yeah, but all right. I'm not going to go on at length about the picture on his phone.
About the stuff you can't see.
Jeez.
All right, so apparel. Like, what was?
Okay, so it's not just apparel, right? I think that game collectors, especially once they hit a certain plateau of collecting, video games, like I think there's always this sort of mystique around things that were behind the curtain. Right?
Yeah, the ephemera.
Yeah, like the things that were internal only. Like I think people just go for that in general, and I think unlike a lot of video gamey things, that this is the kind of item where. Someone might just want one of it. You know what I mean? Like they just want that one trophy piece.
Yeah.
And I'm not collecting all apparel. Like I just want one thing that's like I have a Sunsoft jacket from the NES era. And that's my one thing, and I love it. But I don't want another jacket.
Yeah, this isn't something that's going to be on somebody's checklist.
Right. Exactly.
It's like, I'm hunting this like embossed denim Sonic jacket. Right.
I've got all the video game denim jackets except for this one.
Yeah, this is the last one.
Stadium events of
the stadium events of denim jackets.
This is, by the way, the stadium events of denim jackets. I actually poured it. So, all of that taken into account, like there's so much desirability from so many different people that would fight to the death over the chance to have this thing. I would say like at least like $500.
That's funny. I was thinking 5-6.
Yeah,
I was thinking 500.
Wow,
yeah.
You should have written it all down.
Yeah, I know.
That sounds about right. Like it's not 1,000.
Yeah.
Like I think that would be too much. It's not 100.
I think some jackets could be 1,000. Like I think if you dug up like a Mother 2 jacket that they were giving.
Oh, that's
That's
it.
what
Oh,
Chris would pay,
that's
so.
yeah. That's
But-
more than 1,000
Yeah.
probably. Yeah.
But like, I might disagree about intense bidding wars over something like this.
Yeah.
Because it's not a thing that's like at the end of the checklist.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like,
Well, people,
I think
you know what?
people have their price in mind when they see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're not gonna be driven to keep bidding on it.
People wouldn't necessarily know to search for it. It might go
Right.
up and it might go on eBay and then come off eBay without the people who want to buy it even knowing.
Yeah.
So it may be a accept. You know, in this case, it's probably an accept offers type situation.
Yeah.
Where you put it up on some major forums. You know, you put it in front of as many people as you can and say, I'm accepting offers.
Yeah, I mean, it's awareness, right? This is the same reason some people will post something rare on eBay at like $100,000 buy it now, because you'll be like, what the heck's going on? And you'll see all the other items that that person is selling, right? It's just to draw awareness to other stuff that's for sale.
Yep.
So.
So yeah, well, I think we can all agree that it's cool as hell.
It's
You're
exactly
gonna show it one more time
Yeah.
so everybody can kind of see the
Yeah, the stadium events of Dayton.
Stadium events. That's
Oh, what about the hat?
Oh, the hat.
$5.
I'm going 30.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sega Sports, like, honestly, I would use it as almost like a sweetener to sell some other Sega Sports thing.
Sure,
Like,
yeah.
here's the Sega Sports Dreamcast.
Oh, and like, or if you have like a lanyard or something.
Yeah.
Say,
Which I
like,
do.
Yeah, I would like
Yeah.
bundle that. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. But I mean, that kind of it goes to show that, you know, it's not just because it was company exclusive stuff,
Yeah.
just because, you know, there might be only one of them.
That doesn't make game collectors like sports games.
There we go.
Well, I will say that these hats weren't company exclusive, so
Yeah,
there's
there
are
was
out there
some
for
sold, yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
And I think 30 is what they do go for typically. So good job on that one, yes.
Cool. All right. Thanks for bringing it up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But also, like this is the kind of thing that really just slips by people.
Yeah.
Stuff like this. Like in the museum right now, I have a T-shirt that you could order from Fun Club News in 1987. It is a Super Mario Brothers T-shirt. It's probably the first like Mario merchandise in America. And I bought it on eBay for $10. Buy it now, and it'd been there for days. You know, it's like this. Like it's like this happens with the weird
Yeah.
oddball stuff like this.
You know what I want? One day I'd like to have. Oh, somebody's waving their hand. You have an item?
No,
You're just waving your hand at me?
he's looking for my hand of my mom.
Oh, okay. Hi, Mom. So what I really want, they made this, and I think it was a Nintendo Power Prize. It is the Hot Pink Final Fantasy Fanny Pack.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
think that. So was that a Nintendo Power Prize?
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like
that
the
contest,
prize,
yeah.
First
Where
prize
you
was
can-
like the orb.
First prize was the
whatever,
orb, the
yeah.
crystal orb. Yeah, so when Nintendo brought Final Fantasy here, yeah, one of the prizes for like it was like 50 third prizes will win this Final Fantasy Fanny Pack, and it is hot pink
Yeah.
with the U.S. original NES Final Fantasy logo across it in black. And I mean, look, obviously, of course, I want that.
There is also, I believe, Mega Man 2 Pink Fanny Pack.
My goodness,
Yeah.
they just
so
rented
wait,
it.
we're gonna start that trend.
Yeah,
Like
the
pink
fanny
pack.
pack. Yeah, for sure. Yes. Okay. So let's see.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have something that is directly like a video game system, but it's kind of video game.
Okay. Sure.
Sure.
Come on up, and then we'll.
And then you're
I
next.
think Jared came back.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Oh sure.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't see it, but
Vaguely video gaming.
Oh,
So
sure.
tell us your name and what you bought.
Yeah,
Have a seat.
Have a seat.
I am Covey Wilson, and I have a Texas Instruments Compaq Computer 40, which is, while technically a business computer, there are some games made for it, but it is completely brand new, and there's even a modem, which is also brand new and has the original batteries, which I can't wait to put in it.
Yeah, please do.
But yeah, please.
I mean, the warranty says it never expires, and it says that any product that is damaged by the batteries will be replaced. by-
Yeah.
I need to figure out a free replacement of anything at this point, but the interesting thing is there weren't any actual games released for it. But the TI, through their TI 99+4A and all, they have, there's a bunch of magazines, like both from like when it was released from like 82 or so, and nowadays that are making TI basic games for the TI Texas Instruments Compaq Computer 40.
So how did you get this, and how much did you pay?
I bought it from about over there.
So you bought it today?
That share right
Yeah.
there.
And I paid $40 for it and $30 for a modem, which is kind of expensive, yeah. But it is completely brand new. Completely brand new.
That's the manual. That's not the TI. I just heard the, oh my gosh, what was that?
Sorry, but it is very hard to do this one-handed.
Yeah. All right.
So, yeah.
You don't really have to take it out. I believe it's new.
Yeah. Let's take a look.
Remove protective film.
Oh my goodness.
No,
Don't do it.
don't do it. That's like a million view YouTube video that you almost threw away.
That's cool.
This is so cool, man. I loved it. So this is, I mean, basically like, you know, very early
Kickstand.
Whoa! That's a 50% kickstand to no kickstand ratio of our items so far. This is great.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm happy.
So I mean, basically, the screen on this thing is an LCD screen that's like this big. But it's not like, it's like this is a computer. Like, yeah, you only had, you know, this much display space basically under the protective film to see what you were typing. But then you could, you know, you could actually, you know, transfer the programs and things like that you wrote on here, you know, to your desktop computer because this was compatible with Compaq, I'm sure. And so like you could do, you know, word processing away, you know, it's so small, but it's like you can actually like write computer code or write a text file or something like that. You know, that was very exciting to people when you didn't really have any options for doing that. Also, I just love that it's all metal. It's like cool to touch. It's really neat. Yeah.
All over it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited about the new in package vintage energizers.
Oh, sweet! Got a lot of vintage batteries going on today.
But yeah, I also have a modem, which
Yeah.
means that through a long and convoluted process that involves dialing a bulletin board system in Seattle, I can connect it to the modern internet.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, see, this is the thing where there is, someone has created a support system for an infrastructure that no longer exists, right? And like, we want to keep these things alive and on the internet.
Yeah.
It was at the Vintage Computer Festival, there was someone who wrote an IRC client for teletext, right? So it was actually typing out the words, like on paper, of what people were saying in an IRC channel, and I was like, this is the most colossal waste of paper I've ever seen in my life.
I bet you were like, how do we get this on Discord?
Yes, right, yeah, Discord for teletext. I'm gonna get some engineers on that. But yeah, so I think that it is one of those things where there is a fan community. And people continuing to support and continuing to have programs that you can write. I don't know what how you transfer things to it, but it's still really cool.
Type it, right? Like,
Well, yeah, yes, you can type it, but I was wondering if there's someone's like,
Yeah, type it
written.
in line by line.
Line by line.
Yeah.
Which you, of course, are going to go home and do.
Well, yes, I will. I think you've probably figured out my entire plans for the evening by now. But,
What'd you do on Saturday night?
I just hung around, you know.
So obviously we love this. Like obviously we're just like
Well, I
so
think-
enamored of it.
I think we love it because, I mean, maybe your experiences aren't the same as mine, but like I walk through the halls and I just see endless bins of like console video games, and I'm like, I'm so bored. I don't care.
Yeah.
But then you see something like this, and it's like, oh, I'm interested because I don't know what this is.
I haven't seen a million of them.
Yeah.
And I haven't. Yeah, I've never seen that before in my life. And so let's talk about niche collecting a little bit, because the more limited the appeal of something, or the smaller the group of people that collect for it, the more condition really starts to matter. Because like, you might be, I mean, let's say like hypothetically we're selling that to somebody, it's like you might be selling that to somebody who already has 5 of those, but that one is in better condition than any of theirs. And so it's like they get to the point where it's like, what do I buy? I'm probably gonna buy the thing I already have, but a really, really, really nice one. And so the fact that that is in such good condition, and of course it only helps, it may help a lot as far as like, well, what is its value? What do you know? But it's very difficult. I mean, I could probably figure this out by looking this up on eBay, but because you just don't see these things, it's sort of hard to spitball the price.
Okay, let's assume it's a super common computer from that vintage and go from there. I think that's a good game, right?
I do know it isn't incredibly common because I may or may not have looked into buying one of these quite a bit before this when I realized that TRS-80s were too expensive.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you actually knew what this was and then you found a new one at the show?
Yeah.
You were already interested?
I mean, basically.
Dreams do come true.
Yeah. It's like, what's on your list? Like that. Like, what?
Okay, so did you say not super common?
No, they aren't super common, though I'm not really sure if they're quote-unquote rare.
Right.
It's a big thing because I'm not sure, there's a huge, I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
I know they aren't super common.
And we played Make Believe, and there's 2 scenarios. One is that there are pallets of these, right? That were just unsold and they're everywhere. And the other one is that there aren't, and it's actually kind of common to find, you know, a new one like this. If there are pallets and pallets, I still think you got a good deal, and it's probably more in the like, I don't know, 80-ish range would be my guess, just out of nowhere. And I think that if it's super rare to get it brand new, right? That it's probably, like I could see a collector of these, like the guy you described. It's a guy in my head, I don't know. That has 5 of them.
The guy bought it for actually only at 3.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's really interesting data. I believe the thing's worth $30.
Yeah.
Make Believe's done.
Because they had multiples of them, but maybe those are the last 3 they had, right?
Yeah. Like I can see that, like to Chris's point, right? Like it's just like there's that intense group, and like you know that like having a new one might not be a thing that they have. It might be a condition upgrade. And I can see it going for like 100 or 200, maybe a total guess.
Yeah, just a quick addition. When you get into these super niche areas, and especially the older the technology is, provenance also comes into play. It's like, where did you get it, or who might have owned this? You see this a lot with like the Apple I, right? Like those boards, like if you have the receipt, it's a huge difference. Like tens of thousands of dollars if you have pieces of paper like that can document. Apple Lisa is the same thing. Yeah.
Of course, an Apple I at this point is like owning a Picasso, right? I mean, it's like
it's like $1 million.
Right? Yeah.
But
okay. Well, thanks a lot.
No,
yes.
Yes.
I mean, I think the price, like, I would pay that, and I didn't even know what it was before you walked up here with it.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh yeah, so you said like $40 and $30?
Yeah.
Yeah, so $70 for that? Yeah, I easily got
Yeah, that was a good deal.
Yeah, it's really cool. Thank you for bringing it up.
No problem. Also, I'd like to just point out one more thing.
Go on.
Texas Instruments makes better computers than Commodore.
All right.
Too bad you're not going to make it back to your seat.
We're going to need a police escort.
What are we talking about? The modern rights holders of whatever.
So, Jared out there, I know you brought something, and then we can wrap this up, I think, because I think we're almost out of time.
We got 20 minutes.
Okay. No, wait, I thought it was 40. How long is this? Is it 45 minutes or an hour?
Oh, no,
We can't up here.
45. Okay. All right,
45.
Oh, all right, you were right. What do we got?
Oh, he brought some cables. Jared.
All right. Jared, introduce yourself and what did you bring us?
All right, I'm Jared Pimentel, and I brought in a Sega or a PS2 debugging station that was owned by Sega of America that came out of their facility.
Okay, so interesting. This one says it's got PS2 on the top and it's not test.
Yeah, I've got one that has a PS2.
I didn't know that was as well.
Yeah,
so heavy that.
So let's talk about this. Sony and many other video game console makers have, they would produce what are known as debug consoles. They are in most respects identical to retail consoles, but they play burned games. They play the games that the developers would be writing onto CDRs. They have no security restrictions, things like that.
And the reason would be because you need to test code. Like on an actual console, see what's running. Especially if you're in QA, you don't need an entire development kit. You just need to be handed a disk and to play it and do your bug reports.
And instead of the network and hard drive port, this has got like a PCIO port. Right? And so, do you have the cable, the actual interface card?
Yeah.
All right. So it's a separate piece that would connect to whatever they were programming on, and would basically, would actually like dump that information. To the console or whatever, so you can do debugging or you can actually inject things in there.
So, I mean, these are quite, sought after by collectors. So the interesting thing about the PlayStation, you might have seen this, the PlayStation 1s, they were blue. Like the blue PlayStation 1s those were the debugs, or green in HAL territories. And for PS2, they were black, but this, instead of saying PS2, said test in PlayStation 2 graphics here. But some of these, because I have one that's the same way, some of these debugging stations just say PS2 on the top. What you want to look for is right on the back. So always, I mean, I'm not saying always check every PS2 you ever come across, but like, if you're thinking of
flip every Genesis Model 1.
Well, yeah, but that was like sold to people. Like that's not, But this says PlayStation 2 debugging station on the back, and as Steve pointed out, it's got this PC card, PCIO slot here where the hard drive bay would be. Jared, you've got a price of $250 on this. So anyway, what you said was this was owned by Sega of America. Is there anything on this that indicates that?
Well, he's got asset tags on the cables and the controller.
But there are no asset tags on the PS2.
Right.
Yeah. I've seen
fake.
It's clearly not real. Yeah, I've seen on asset tags, sometimes, it's a sticker like this. There are some companies that actually did like plates, like little tiny metal plates on there as well. So, interesting.
The problem is, it's like, let's say I 100% believe you. You know what I mean? I totally believe you. You got these from Sega. Okay, well, I have book sales, so maybe I pay a little bit more for it because I'm like, oh, but it came from Sega. But then if I try to pass it on to somebody, then the chain sort of becomes, a little ridiculous. Because
some guy told me it came from Sega.
Yeah. Well, somebody told me that, and I believe him, and and then people forget things, and so. Unfortunately, because the unit itself doesn't say, quite frankly, even if there was an asset tag on there that said this is Sega of America asset, whatever, it probably wouldn't change the price that much because all debug consoles came out of some company, right?
Well, and unlike something like an Xbox, there's no hard drive on this that might have code. You know what I mean? It's just a system that runs. Code that you feed it. So.
And it's a cool novelty, but you really can't use it.
Also, I would never take if you were to get a debug, sometimes we take stickers off of things, right? You know what I mean? I would never take off like a company's asset tag or something like that as something you acquired because, it does give it that extra little bit of coolness, for it being on there. These tend to go for a few $100 depending on the day and month and the person and things like that. They're really useful. They're useful as all hell, especially when you do, what we do is, trying to find prototype games and things like that. I mean, you can, and also these things are great because they do PS2 and PS1 burn games. They will just handle whatever you throw at it. Yeah, I think so.
The king of debug consoles is the original PS3 ones. They still had the hardware backwards compatibility in them, and you could play any PS1, 2, or 3 game from any region, burned or retail. Yep. You just throw any PlayStation game in there.
And those, if those ever come up, those will go for like $600-700 for the original PS3 debugs as well. Trivia: there were actually debug PS2 Slims. And I know because I got one on eBay. And it's the PS2 Slim that they did this, like the size of like a DVD case. And it has test on the top, and it's debug. I couldn't even believe they even made those. I couldn't even imagine why they needed to even make those.
Run out.
Yeah. And they were like, well, let's do some Slims. Yeah.
Brazil is still making PS2 games.
Yeah.
So, I think we're at time.
I think we are. But thank you. Did you have any other questions or?
No, this isn't even mine. I stole it off of one of the guys' tables out.
Oh yeah, no, that's good.
All right.
It's all right. We're all into the Stockton area, so that's
yeah.
hold.
But we don't deal in stolen merchandise.
That's okay. Yeah. So
Steal from work.
awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. We're out of time. Hope you guys had a good time. Thank you. I have to like run back to my booth because my booth partner is probably freaking out.
Yeah, but if you have any other questions, I'm at the Nintendo H booth. Frank, you're in the museum.
I'm at the museum, which is only open for 15 more minutes. So
I'm in my boss fight book. You can buy my book about Final Fantasy. Thank you guys for coming by.
Thank you so much, everybody.